Hey guys, hey, it's John. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'm here to answer your questions. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you miss any videos, click on notification bell and give me a thumbs up if you love this live stream, and comment down below if you guys want to see some new videos. So let's get to it. And I know that most of you guys seem like I always get excited and stuff, but I just feel like I'm just feeling down today. And hello, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. You can't eat Buldak ramen. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I just feel like I was not very getting very excited because I always get excited every time. But today, I'm going to experience something very bad. I know that tomorrow I won't be able to work because there's snow weather, and I was getting excited. I always had to wait till once I get back on Tuesday. However, the worst part is when I got another email from my work, they saying Tuesday we'll miss another day of work at the school district, and I hate I hate doing that. You can't eat that. Bulldog ramen. I haven't had ramen for the last 5 years. Daniel, come on. I haven't had any ramen all day. I've been working all day and all night, and even like barely paying off bills and everything. I'm just feeling like very down today. I'm just feeling so much stress, so much with like I miss my parents, and even I miss hanging out with my brothers. It feels alone at home with this cold weather. I barely even go out a lot. I've been doing like all day doing chores around the house, doing some doing like laundry, doing lot of sorts of stuff. Hold on, I got a message. Oh, it's just a group chat for my other job. Let's see what they say. I got so many messages. All depends. Okay, they're just. I was just working at Pizza Hut. If you guys don't remember if you guys don't remember last night's live stream, I told you guys like I just came home all the way from work because the only thing I was supposed to go through my highway like every day, but because of this bad weather, I can't go there. And even I had to wait for like 10 or 15 minutes to get my car warmed up and everything, and it was kind of crazy. And even like I was working very good, and even like I had to work. And really, we didn't have a lot of customers. They were going to dine in, but because due to weather, they couldn't stay all day. And most of all, we couldn't do deliveries because due to the weather, it's too risky and dangerous to do that. And even like I do like carryouts and even doing like the register in the lobby and in the drive-through because like one of my location at the Pizza Hut, I always do cash register in the lobby and the drive-through where people had to pick up their orders and stuff. I had to know like whose name they're picking up, and then I always making sure I get their orders and everything. Even like if they forgot to pay, then they can always pay inside the store. And even like since they already prepaid already online, they pick it up. And even like I do get some tips and everything, and I do very good getting a lot of tips when I'm working in the register. And it's all about good customer service and good respect and everything. And it is kind of crazy. But here's something what I here's something like yesterday. I did some very good generous tips. And one of the biggest ones I had from yesterday, it was $14 on a tip where there was like these two customers. They're from next door from this car dealership, and they were very nice and everything. And most of all, I would they gave they were very nice, and they see me with hard work, good character, and that's how they gave me. And even at the end, I made was only $23 in tips, $22 in cash, plus $1 in change. That's a total of $23. So if you don't believe me, well, here's my tip money that I just got from work. Yeah, like I got two $5 bills, and I got myself, yeah, I mean, like I got two $5 bills and 12 $1 bills, and people always see that. But it's the only thing is just like it's important to not show a lot of money. This is just only like it's only just the one time I don't want to do that. I guess like it's very rude for anybody who takes advantage when it comes to money and everything. Just like here's another thing that all of you know, like just like I said like last time or last night, that if you ever seen the show The Lottery Changed My Life, that's like where a lot of winners from all over the country, not just lottery winners, we've seen casino winners and people who won on a sweepstakes had won money. Hello, C Media. Welcome to the live stream. Not pretty much. Oh, well, that is true. C Media. I was just telling them that I was just telling them like I'm I'm just not in a good. I thought I was gonna be a good mood, but today was not because I'm gonna miss another day of work, and I don't like doing that. Because like tomorrow I'm gonna miss work, but now I'm gonna miss work on Tuesday because due to bad weather in Dallas, and it's crazy, and I do not like in this weather. It gets me so stressed out. And even my parents saying like, now here's another thing that I'm gonna be getting promoted as assistant teacher. Now the only thing is that like ever since I started working for a year in a high school for the school district, everybody was very nice to me. They see me my hard work, dedication, and always know what's going on and everything. I report when there's any type of protocol when it comes to students, when it comes to like any type of violence or situation going on. I always notify them. And it's kind of crazy, but here's another thing that I haven't even told you guys about. Like one thing I met was a former Dallas Cowboy legend. Yes, and he works for the school district too. And his name is Kevin Williams, and he played for the Dallas Cowboys since 1993 through 1996. And he is the returner. He's one of the players for the returners who played with Troy Aikman and Emmett Smith. And one thing I didn't even notice, but he had a very good season and everything. And he told me all his career of how he was in the NFL. And even he retired in 2000 after playing for the Bills and after playing with the San Francisco 49ers. And it was crazy. I mean, I never imagined that I get to meet a former Dallas Cowboy legend. So crazy. And one of most things, he graduated at the school that I work at in Dallas, and now he works for as a technician where we always had to do is like we always check like what's going on because he always checked the cameras and any type of sensors and everything, and I always had to report any type of situation going on in and outside the school building. And I had encountered a lot of stuff going on. Now I haven't even told you this, so I mean like it started like just before everybody's going to have a good time on their 2 days off. On like they have this special one on October called Fair Day. It's like where every kids and teachers and students and faculties will receive a free ticket to go to the state fair. Now, if you guys don't see my short on my shorts where I showed you guys where I was at the state fair at night. That was the day I went there. I went there only with my parents, my third older brother, and his daughter. Because I thought he was gonna take his wife, but his wife was so busy doing other stuff. And it was kind of great. And it was a good experience because it's been like 10 years since my last time going to the state fair. I mean, like 10 years ago, I was still a senior in high school, and I was with my parents, my oldest brother, and his wife there, and we had a good time on on a Saturday. We enjoyed it, and even we see like so many people coming from like all through two cities in Houston and Oklahoma City to see the OU versus Longhorns, and it was kind of crazy too. I mean, like I've seen so many college footballs and everything, but the best thing I always saw this year is Peyton and Eli Manning's nephew, Arch Manning. I started to get to know him a lot. I mean, he's a very good kid and a very good player. And my prediction, maybe he might be the next Dallas Cowboy quarterback. I mean, he has been the best so far in his college year. And everybody always say like there's like so many young generation of so many athletes from around the country. Now, one of the most things I really hates today, I was watching the two semifinal games, the AFC conference and the NFC. I just saw the AFC game, and let me tell you, I was not happy because Patriots had advanced to the Super Bowl, and now I'm watching the Rams with the Seahawks, and one of them will join with the Patriots at Super Bowl live in Santa Clarita, California. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's only been like since 10 years since like a lot of people have it's been 10 years since I seen the Super Bowl 50 where the Broncos won, and that's where Peyton Manning won after winning his game, he decided to retire. It's like so many people it's like so many legends wanted to win their last game before retirement. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, like I've seen so many former legends. They had so much good experience and they wanted to retire soon. And just like I've seen like so much, like I've seen a lot of legends, and I've already seen WWE superstar John Cena. He just retired after a long, after like more than like I've only seen his debut back in 2004, and it's been like around, let's just say it has been 22 years since he started WWE. He had won a lot of heavyweight champions. He had been so much sponsorships, and he also did was like he was in every movies that you guys have seen so far. I've seen him on Bumblebee, and he was on like where he was in one of those Nickelodeon movie specials, Fred the movie, and he was also in one of those other movies that, and even one of those Amazon Prime series or movies, films, and even the last one I already saw was like Playing with Fire, and that was like another Nickelodeon movie so far. And I mean, I've seen so many Nickelodeon movies. I mean, like the first Nickelodeon movie I ever saw was a SpongeBob movie. That was like the very first movie where SpongeBob wanted to be the manager as a good promotion, but then Mr. Krabs didn't give him because he's saying that he's just a kid. But there are a lot of young kids can become who they want to be. I mean, it doesn't matter if they are good or not. And just like a lot of people can become very young to achieve so much. I mean, I've seen the youngest professor, I've seen the youngest doctor, I've seen youngest cop, firefighters, every generations of new young people who wants to find their success too. And even like I've seen so many who are like good artists, good writers. And I'm still trying to write my own book too. I mean, like I still had to write and think about it. And I mean, I'm still going like I know that my life is a really huge roller coaster so far, and it is kind of crazy too. And now back to where I just stopped, where I just said about the lottery changed my life. Yeah, and even like people always win a lot, and even they always say like how much after taxes and stuff, and even everybody always say what did they do after they won the money. I mean, like people always say they want to get a house they want, a car, and even like what they really want to get. And even sometimes they really want to do is like good investments and stuff. I mean, sometimes the stock market can be good, but sometimes it gets really tough too. And it's like a huge risk too. And even others trying to do good business when it comes to like trying to do like a very good business to help the community and everything. And I even seen like so many like I seen like there are some people who are victims of like people who are trying to take advantage from the winners. And even I've seen like on one of the episodes of The Lottery Changed My Life where this guy from Florida just won $30 million. Well, I think it was 15 or 20 million of the Florida lottery, and he won like, and after that money, he got like $1 million of like some type of house around in the area of Florida. But then he was going back to his old habits, like giving money and stuff, and then going with so much situation. And even a woman tried to do is take advantage of trying to ruin his life. And the worst part is they couldn't find him, but then she told her confession to know where he is and everything because he was murdered. And the woman who killed him, she was pled guilty of second degree murder, and she was sentenced to life in prison. And even like the guy always goes a lot, and then he had a girlfriend, and he gave her was a blessing and gave her a child. And that's like a lot of things, like when people always go through a lot with depression, with so much situation going on, even taking their own life, or even go through so much. Just like when I seen Marshawn Neeland, former Dallas Cowboys, passed away on October. It was a very hard for the Cowboys to lose somebody, and even he gave his girlfriend a blessing and he gave her was a child, and now she is pregnant with his child, and it's kind of like very sad and very emotional for anybody who lose an important person they ever meet. So the only thing is like people always had to know. Like I already did a video of a pros and cons about winning the lottery. The only thing is never ever tell anybody about you won the money, okay? And you had to keep yourself anonymous. The only people you had to be with is your mom, your dad, okay? Who always be with you, okay? And be very careful of who you trust with because sometimes the trust can be very tactic and everything. And one thing is, do not spend all your money on anything. Just like don't spend on mansions because they waste a lot with taxes. Don't spend on Lamborghinis, Bugattis, Rolls Royce, those luxury cars because those are too expensive and it would rate higher on your car insurance because that would be too much of like of your waste of money. And even buying designer brands, that's not very good too because that costs a lot of money and you might be ended in debt. Because it's important for you guys is to always save your money and be very careful with your money. If you don't know how to manage, you always had to talk to an attorney to always talk about that. If you win the money, don't have like bad attitudes and everything. If you really want to talk about like what's going on and everything, it always had to take therapy to get all that situation going on, and don't let that happen to you, okay? And even always find an attorney and always find a lawyer to help you out with financial things and everything to maintain your money and stuff. And the most important thing is it's like if you really want something, like first of all, like for me, I mean, like I don't want to buy any type of luxury stuff and everything. Like first of all, I don't want to buy designer stuff because it's too much. I only like to buy like regular clothing, and sometimes I only had to buy like only like if it's discounted places and some only normal brands that I always shopped before. I mean, like I don't want to buy like Coach nor Gucci nor Giorgio Armani or Louis Vuittons because they are very expensive. And if anybody wants a car, I only want to get like a car that I really want to get. I don't want to go like very expensive and stuff. I mean, the only car I really want to get is like an Acura TLX. And if I have like a family, I will find myself an SUV, but I don't want to go like very crazy and stuff. I would get like either a Highlander or some other big SUV because I don't want to go like overboard and stuff. And even like if I would get a pickup truck, if I want to go on adventures or go and do like a lot of stuff when it comes to like very good tourists and stuff. Now, another thing is that like if I want a place to live, I mean, I don't want to get mansions. Like I said before, it's too much. And even like my dad really wants to get like his own land, like live in a ranch and stuff. I mean, like I did see a lot of ranch locations around in the cities. Like I've seen some in Forney, seen some in Rockwall. I have seen some in somewhere in areas outside of Dallas. It's kind of good, but it is like it's like very quiet and stuff. But managing a ranch or a farm is like too busy and stuff. I mean, like people who always live in a farm, they always learn of like they always wake up so early. They have to like feed the animals, get every chores done and everything. But it sounds like too much work and everything. I just always like I'm more into like a suburban area. I mean, like just like I said, because I was born in California, live in the urban cities like outside of Los Angeles, and I live in a city that I grew up with me and my brother is Linwood. It's like a very good Hispanic community, and I really enjoyed a lot. And even sometimes with hard times and everything, but when it comes to like so much with high with high taxes and incomes, we decided to move to Texas. Just like I've already told you guys a lot about my story and everything. And even like since we I've been only living here for only for over for 20 years, it's like a very good place. I mean, I get a lot of good suburban place and everything, and it's very comfortable, and sometimes there's a lot of traffic and everything, but it has very good views and everything. And most of all, I mean, like I because like last years I always go to I've gone to all the schools I graduated, and even like every time when I go out, when I go to when I go to convenience stores or gas stations, but like you guys already seen my local gas stations. I told you guys all my scratch off video, my scratch off shorts and stuff. And even everybody sees me, like I always recognize them and I say hello again and they say hello and then they always recognize my name and everything. And I everybody always see me because I they always see me as regulars because I've always been a regular customer to every gas stations that I've gone to through the last 10 years. And it is kind of crazy too. And I mean, the first time I ever played lottery is like where my oldest brother had showed me how it is and everything, and all about strategies and stuff. And even like when I started college, I started to understand how the game works and even learn about the odds and winning. And I mean, the first win I ever won big was like $50, and it was on like one of those $3 scratch off tickets that you guys never seen have heard of or haven't seen those before, but it was like a very long time ago. That was like 8 years ago, and it was kind of good. And even like I said before, you guys, like if you don't remember, like I've won two claimers before. 5 years ago when COVID hit, and then the other one 4 years ago after Father's Day. I bought on a scratch off ticket. I won $800 on a Mega Million, where I almost hit all six numbers because, like, if I had all six numbers, I would have won the jackpot so that my family and I won't have to struggle with finances and stuff. And then I played was one of the $30 tickets, and I only hit was $1,000 because I found two multiplier symbols, and that's how I got it. And if I would have got like it was like 10x times 50, that was like $500. If I would have was a 500, I would have got like 5,000, and then the other one 5,000. I would have got 10 grand. But no, that's how it is. But it will be but I will have to work very hard to win money. I mean, but right now with so much work and so much debt, I'm barely even getting behind, and with so much with the bank keeps calling me, and then my parents tell me don't answer it, just focus on like what you do, and even like if there's a miracle, then I will have to work hard to pay off the debt. It's really hard for me. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's really crazy. So, and I have this idea for my next video, and I'm doing is like I'm bringing back one of my topics I've done before is I'm gonna do a countdown video. Yes, a countdown is like where I'm gonna count down like top 10, top 20, or whatever you guys ever seen. So this week I'm gonna be counting down top 10 of Bluey's mini-sodes, also known as mini episodes. Yeah, so I just wrote down 10 of them, and I can't tell you guys what it is until you guys will get to see them, okay? So, but if you guys want to know like what how the top 10 works, it's always about like what you guys really like to see and everything. If you have your own top 10, you guys gotta check. I mean, like if I had my own top 10, like if it's like different shows that I really watched in the last years, I mean, like I've seen I've seen Friendship is Magic during high school and college, even after they finished their final season. It's kind of crazy. I mean, like, there's only like 10 that I really like. I mean, like, I don't remember which ones, but I keep rechecking everything. Now there are only 10. Let me just like give an example. What 10 Friendship is Magic episodes I've seen, and I got like another request of another ship video I'm going to be doing, but I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. Like I said, you guys will get to see it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just feeling very tired, and even like so much with work, so much with a lot of stuff, and it's going to get warmer, but it's still going to be very cold too. And now it's the final quarter of Seahawks versus Rams. So I'm gonna root for the Seahawks because they have been doing very good. I mean, like since they've already won their first Super Bowl win in 2013, because I remember watching it. Since like we get to watch it until the very end, and after that we had to go to bed at like around 9 p.m. because we had school and stuff. And that's how it is, and we get to enjoy a very good time to watch some games that we had never seen before. And I mean, I never know what the Super Bowl is, but after like learning from high school to know what football works, they always tell me how the strategy and everything. All my former coaches from school, they always tell me how the game works, and even like from like minutes from wide receivers and players, and even all the referees who always check a lot of results and everything. And it was very good. And now, I mean, like, I'm just trying to find good ones. So okay, let's get back to the topic that I just said about top 10 Friendship is Magics. I mean, like, since I have watched, like, I'm just trying to review, like, what are the best ones so far, either if something to do with, like, Twilight and her friends, or even some of the other characters you guys have seen. So let me put, like, the episodes from Friendship is Magic. I mean, like, they're like, the final total of all of it was, like, over 200. I mean, so I was trying to review which ones, and I have finally found which ones that are the best ones. So let's start off with the first season. I mean, like, one of the first seasons I really enjoyed. It's like, I think it's like number 9, episode 9 of season 1, where it's all about like where Twilight and Spike goes into town, and it was kind of a very good day, and all through Ponyville we're going to be just fine. But then it was very quiet, and everybody, and then she was asking, where is every pony? And then they're just hiding. And what exactly are they hiding? It was Zecora, because that Zecora started her debut, and everybody always say, who is Zecora? She's a zebra, and she lives in the Everfree Forest, and they just say like it's a very dangerous place. And then that's where the one thing is like Applejack's sister, Apple Bloom. You guys already know, member of the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and she is the founder of the Cutie Mark Crusaders. When that's like where she was on episode 12, where she meets Skulu and Sweetie Belle, because Sweetie Belle is Rarity's sister. And one of the most things I've seen, like where Apple Bloom decided to find out on her own to figure out what's going on with Zecora. So she's not evil, she's not doing anything, and they thought it was like they were cursed by Zecora, like where Twilight had her horn wobbly, Rarity got a lot of hair in her body, Rainbow Dash couldn't fly normally. They call her a Rainbow Crash. Applejack turned tiny. Pinkie Pie can't even say anything because her tongue is stuck around. And finally, for Fluttershy, they thought everything was fine for her, but the one thing they didn't know, she has a guy's voice. But I mean, she did use it on season 4. Now, the only thing is that like it wasn't a curse at all. The only thing is that Twilight and her friends' touch was this weird poison joke plant, and that's how it is. The only thing that cured them is use some type of weird mineral m- minerals that got themselves back to normal, and that's how it is. Speaking of which, there's like other episodes that on the first season I think I really like, where like that relates to the Cutie Mark Crusaders. About like where one about like where the Cutie Mark Crusaders will spend the night with Fluttershy while Rarity is very busy with her own thing. And they started to have some good time with caves and stuff, but then they accidentally went to the forest that Fluttershy told them not to go. And then Twilight went to the forest to go see Zecora. And then Twilight turned to a stone because it was like this weird chicken legend character that used eyes to like turn him into stones. Because it compares to like one of those hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me take a look. Which one? Oh, Medusa. Yes. A Medusa who has like big hairy snake things, and it will like if you see it, it will turn you into stone. And that's how it is. But Fluttershy always have she is the stairmaster because she always controls the animals when they are going out of control and stuff. And that's how she did that with her chickens, and now with this legendary chicken lizard creature thingy. And then that's like where and then the other part is like where since Apple Bloom, Sweetbell Scootaloo had started their own club called the Cutie Crusaders, Applejack decided to give them is their new clubhouse. It was kind of old because like Applejack had a clubhouse when she was very young. Then they started to work a lot because they rebuilt it and everything. And then they decided to make a little theme song, and they're trying to become good cutie markers. They're just finding their own cutie marks. Now we already because I already know like and since the season 5, they've already got their cutie marks. After one thing they had to help was Diamond Tiara. Now, from my own perspective, after being in high school, and I always see like Diamond Tiara is always a bully, being so rude to the Kumar Crusaders, taking advantage from others, and even mocking them. That's not very good. But it wasn't about Diamond Tiara had that situation. Not just that. The only the only family member who made that bad decision, it's not her father, but her mother. And her mother was named Spoiled Rich. The only thing is like she was trying to giving bad influence and bad examples to her own daughter, because that's like one thing you guys had to know. You can't spoil your own daughter with bad influence or anything, because if anything happens to them, they are the ones responsible for their child's learning and behavior. So that's how like where the Cutie Crusaders had told her and reflected, and now after so much with encounters and everything, Diamond Tiara apologized to everybody. She decided to learn to be good and not be a bully. And now she changed her attitude and everything. And she was reunited with her best friend again, Silver Spoon. And even Silver Spoon will still always be fancy, but she really understands that. And even like one day we don't even know like if she is married to anybody or something. And I'm not sure what's gonna happen to Spoiled Rich. I mean, like that's Filthy Rich's wife. And I did see was like a young version of her just before like where Diamond Tiara was born. And that's like where and because like we're filthy and spoiled, we're engaged back then. And that's like where Applejack and Big Mac were kind of like teens, let's say like 11 or 12 years old. And they always had to do a lot of deals with Filthy Rich and Granny Smith with their business and stuff. And it is kind of crazy for anybody who does that. So as I was saying, and even like on the key where the key marker started to do is like they're trying to find their talents, doing like going all through Ponyville to know what they do. So the first time they went to Apple Bloom's farm, and the first thing they got to do they feed the pigs. It was kind of okay, but they didn't get Q marks. I mean, it's all about hard work, and dedication. They went to Sugar Cube Corner making some taffy, but then they got stuck because one of their tails got stuck in a taffy, and it's very sticky too. Then they went to the Carousel Boutique while Rarity is doing some errands. Sweet Belle decided to do like some hair dye, like with good fashion and stuff, but it's not a very good one. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. And then they went to the field and they decided to do this little guessing game. Not so good either. They decided to do climbing mountains on a snow mountain, but it wasn't even a big mountain. It was just like a hill. They decided to go to a lake to explore underwater. Didn't work. And finally, they made it to that was Twilight's former library tree. And the only thing is that like they're trying to be librarians, but being librarians is all about learning the books and learning to know how to manage a library and everything. I mean, I've seen a lot of libraries and I've gone to libraries a lot so far, and even during college, and even going to different libraries from different areas that I've gone to, only to do some projects and homework and everything. And that's how it is. And even like I've seen, like they're trying to do this talent show, and that's like they have these costumes. Like Sweetie Belle tries to be a good designer, like her sister, kind of really tough and everything. And then Apple Bloom wanted to dance. She learns about kung fu and like a little dancing thing, and then Scootaloo with singing, but it was kind of like a little disaster, but it was fun. But they didn't get their cutie marks, and even like their cutie marks are shields because they want to be cutie mark crusaders forever. Because Bloom has a shield with an apple. Scootaloo has a shield that has a wing thunder and a wheel. And finally, for Sweetie Belle, a shield, but has a music note because she really wants to sing too. And it's kind of crazy too. And one of the other episodes that I really enjoyed of season one, and I think is the last one, is the Grand Galloping Gala, where everybody has like their own thing, like what they want to do. I mean, like Fluttershy wants to see the creatures in one of those gardens in Canterlot, but it didn't turn out very good because all the animals were scared of her because Fluttershy was kind of crazy. And then Apple Bloom tries to sell all her apple treats because she wants to earn a lot of money for her family. Because if you guys seen on the third episode, her idea is like if she goes to the Grand Gallopy Gala, she would go there and then sell all her apple treats, and then want to do is fix the roof, get it replaced with this other stuff, and even help Granny Smith be young again. And since and even like for Rarity, she wants to find her Prince Charming. His name was Prince Blueblood. He was kind of charming, but he was kind of like a not uncharming guy because he always does like being so disrespectful for a lady. I mean, every man has to be very respectful to women. That's how I always do. I always had to be respectful for everybody. And even he even got Rarity dirty on Applejack's apple cake. Now, I kind of tried an apple cake and everything. I mean, I tried every apple desserts before. All right, let's see. And then Rainbow Dash trying to improve all the Wonderbolts, and it was kind of like they kind of ignore her and everything. And then she tried to improve them that she picked up was one of the statues that was gonna fall, but then she lost her balance and then boom, that was crazy. And then finally for Pinkie Pie, she tried to get everybody funny, but then not so very much. And then even finally for Twilight, trying to have a good time with Princess Celestia, but it was kind of like not so much. But even after that, they did have a very good day. And even I did see was like one of those after the episode, they did make a little comic about like what would happen to make it up. I mean, Celestia decided to buy some of Applejack's treats, and she only got a little bit of money to fix the roof, and then Fluttershy gets to spend time with Celestia's Phoenix pet, Philomena, and then Rainbow Dash gets tickets to see the Wonderbolt, and then for Pinkie gets a little good fun for everybody, and even like for Rarity, couldn't find any charming, but then Spike was the only dragon to help her out. So that's how it is. But even like they did do a Grand Galloping Gala, but it was kind of like a disaster too. I mean, like I did see like where Discord Broad was the smooze. It's like this little slime comparing to like this other slimy monster, Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens, but he's like with no eyes and it make out of control. The only thing is like where Discord was kind of jealous of Fluttershy's friend named Tree Hugger, who was like one of those hippies. And even like who joins with the Gallop was like Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity took is the Cutie Mark Crusaders. And even everybody has like their own family members and friends to go out. And it was kind of disaster, but then they had a good time because Celestia really enjoyed it. But Eva was asking, where is Luna on the day of the Grand Galloping Gala? Maybe she's like too busy with her duties, or maybe she's doing some other responsibilities. That's like one thing people don't understand. So that's how like the first season was kind of only some of the episodes I really enjoyed. So one of the other episodes from second season. All right, we only got 20 minutes until the live stream is over. So let's keep going. Oh, look, I got a message from one of these apps called WeWord. It's like an app where you earn a lot. It just tells me challenge bonus. Step in. Congratulations, you got 26 26 points. Oh wow. This is a great one. I mean, like the reason why I'm using this app so I can like do a lot of steps and do a lot of exercise because like I mean, since I'm doing so much exercise and everything, I've been so busy with work and everything and people don't have the time to do that. So anyway, like I was saying, like for the second season, let's just say it was kind of like a little up and down, or even like people say it's a roller coaster. Like for the second season, I really enjoyed was like on number five. Hold on, let me take a look. Okay, number 5 and number 6, and then number 9. There were some very good ones. I mean, like for number 5, it's all about the Sister Hoof Social. Now, if you guys wanted to know what this is about, it's about like where Rarity and Sweetie were not getting along because of like they're not doing good and everything, and even like where Sweetie gets to see how Apple Bloom and Applejack get along, and even she wants to be with Applejack as a big sister instead of Rarity. But then Rarity asks Applejack why she always be the good, and then she feels bad. The only thing you have to know your heart when it comes to always having. Now she said having when they did was a lesson on the to send a letter to the princess. They say like having a sister, but let's just say having a sibling is always working. I mean, like siblings can always work together. I mean, I know it's kind of crazy. I mean, like, I mean, being the youngest of three older brothers is kind of very tactic and everything. And I mean, like we've been messing around. We always fight around. We blame each other, and sometimes we get into trouble doing anything stupid at all. But we always do so much. That's how like Rarity and Sweetie always get along. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And even I seen this other episode, and it's all about like where Apple Bloom was really disappointed. Like she thought she got a cutie mark on bowling, but it was some other filly, and then she felt very disappointed, and then she decided to go through the woods, and then she broke her tooth, and then Zecora came to help her out, and they got this little potion to help grow her tooth again. And then one thing is like where Apolloon did that got worst, and it was the episode called Cutie Pox. And she took was this flower. She was like Heart Desires, and she got like this weird metal hoop to think that she's good at it. And then she got like a second cutie mark to think that she's good with all these plates and stuff. But then when Applejack heard something else, was like she was tapping because she has a third cutie mark. The only thing is like they took Twilight and trying to figure out what exactly was it. It was cutie pox. And the only thing is that like causing them to perform all the talents. They're trying to figure out what was the cure, but then there was no known cure because the cause of the breakout didn't discover because the cutie pucks only disappear as they arrive. I mean, comparing to like just like people always think like it's like comparing to like the COVID situation in 2020 and there's like it's spreading around and around the world, and then people will say, what's the cure? But there's no cure. It only disappears as they arrive. And I know there's like a lot of victims who that a lot of victims lost their families because of COVID. And I always say I had to be respectful and respect to all the people we lost so far. And it's really hard when people had to go through a lot. Even like my brother had to miss work because of all through COVID and everything. He even had to miss like my school and everything. We had to do online and and all that stuff. But even I passed all my classes and stuff. It even and even like at the end of the year, I finally finished one topic that I didn't get to finish. Was the hardest one was mathematics in college. But after working so hard, I finally passed it and even graduated with associate's degree of science. So that's how it is. And the only thing is that like the one thing in order to cure it, because they asked Zecora how it works, is use these type of seeds and will grow into a flower, but it always tell the truth. But and after that, Apple Bloom told the truth, and then she ate the flower, and and all the all the special talents were gone. Because the only thing is, you should never take something without permission. And one of the most things I really enjoyed was like this is about like where Rarity gets to spend a week in Canterlot, and then she wants to find a good dress for Twilight's birthday, and then she's gonna miss because she was with so many fancy people around, and then she made an excuse about it, and then they decided to do was like bring the party all the way to Canterlot, and then they were gonna do her party at in the garden, but there was like this other party, and they decided to do this ball. Everything was fine, and then Barry decided to like go back and forth and everything. However, she was a bit like kind got a little caught because she brought a Kurokin mallet with her. It was kind of crazy too. Now, one of the other episodes that I really enjoyed was like the Hearts and Hooves Day, and it's all about like where Big Mac with Cheerlead. But you guys already know that in the final season, Big Mac really loves was Sugar Bill. I mean, I just feel bad. I mean, like for me, to be honest, I really enjoyed like if Big Mac was with Cheer Lee because she's always a very good, generous, generous mayor. And let's see what else. And I think that's like everything that I know of the second season. But on the third season, there's only like a bits that I really enjoyed. It was one is about Applejack's family reunion. That was a good one so far because like I really enjoyed it because like it's all about being with family and everything. You don't have to bring a lot of new stuff. Always bring the old school and everything. It's like bringing family together. I mean, I always have a family reunion with my family all the way to El Salvador because we always had to follow the culture and everything. All right, man. All right, guys. So we're still waiting for anybody. C Media, do you have anything else, or we're waiting for anybody else too? I mean, I thought it was going to be very good, but there's not a lot around here. So as I was saying, and then I even seen one that was very crazy. Was like Spike at your service while Twilight gets so busy with her books for one weekend. Spike gets the time for himself, and then he decided to go to one of those hot air balloons, but then he accidentally got the hot air balloon like running away, and then he got stuck in a forest by these timber wolves, and then Applejack saved him, and then he decided to like he wants to thank her a lot, and he like serving her a lot. I mean, that was kind of crazy, even like to help with like cleaning cleaning the pigs, making pies, and doing it okay. And then it was kind of crazy. And even like Applejack told Twilight about what's going on. It's all about Dragon Code, and the only way to get to make it even Steven is that Spike had to save Applejack, and it was kind of crazy too. I mean, like people always say that like there was something like people always say that if you save someone, they want to help you out, and even they want to do is like do the same things like the other person had to save their partner too. I mean, saving someone's life can be good, but then sometimes you want to do is like return the favor and everything. It's kind of crazy, yeah. It was kind of good, and I really like was the 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 last episode of the season 3 about where Twilight make new magic, and after solving the problem and returning back to normal, she became the first. She became an alicorn, becoming the Princess of Friendship. And even I've seen so many episodes about like how even how they defeat all these villains. They stop Nightmare Moon, brought back Princess Luna. They defeated Discord. They defeated Queen Chrysalis not once, but twice. And then they they stopped the situation from by saving and finding Princess Celestia and Luna by getting this getting all the elements of harmony, bringing back the trio of harmony. They collect all 6 keys to defeat Tyrek, not once but twice, and then Twilight's castle appeared. They they even meet Starlight Glimmer, who was she was really bad in the beginning. You guys already know Starlight Glimmer, who was really bad when she went to this town and stole everyone's cutie marks and have like all of them have the same cutie marks, so they're like an equal sign. But the only thing is the reason why she now there wasn't even evil or anything, but they did have to help her so that she can start all over again. And she did apologize to the village, and even like the reason why she did so badly because ever since like she lost the only friend that she really had was you guys already know him, Sunburst. Hey John, can't stay editing a video, but hope you have a good live and stay warm. All right, thanks Scratcher Spot. If you guys haven't seen Scratcher Spot, he is a scratch he lives in Texas and he does a lot of scratch off videos too. You guys can subscribe to him too. So as I was saying, yeah, after like when in the last 2 episodes, the only thing is like Starlight Glimmer stole was like one of those spells that Starspool the Beard had. It's all about going back in time. The only thing is like there's like a lot of fans did was like their own perspective. What would it happen when there was no Ring Boom, and if Twilight didn't even see her actual friends, and even they didn't have their actual cutie marks? That was like the reason. Like we've seen a lot of alternate worlds and alternate things. Like you never touch the past. I mean, just like I've always seen like in the episode, I've always seen on Family Guy because like I always know like what exactly happens when you alter the past because like it was just before Stewie had his time machine. That was like when Peter always asked Death to go back in time and live a good life, but then he accidentally altered the past because like where he didn't see his wife Lois, but he was with somebody else, and that's like where Lois married Quagmire, and his kids had the same face as Quagmire, and that's the one thing with a different illusion. And then he goes back and fix the situation. That's like one thing you guys know. Altering the past is not very good, and it might be very dangerous too. And even like when I seen like where Brian accidentally touch and alter the past because like he wanted to stop 9/11 and have a better place in peace. But then when they heard about the news about like they Ninth Southern State is declaring civil war from the northern states, and then when they and they went back in time 5 years later in the future, and they saw what happened, there was like a war that's something to do with nuclear and everything. And they decided to do is just go back and tell their former selves about stops about telling them about the 9/11. But then there was like so many more Brian's and Stewie's, and that's how like everybody always say they had to vote that they want to prevent 9/11 or votes yes 9/11. But the most votes, everybody wants to say 9/11 wins. And that's like the one thing it's like Stewie and Brian decided to do that they should have done in the first place is they went back in time the moment just before their doubles originally arrived. So they just told them not to go back to the present and stay there. And even like that for that just like when for them they just no longer existed. So that's how it is. And even like Stewie just destroyed his time machine and then he rebuilt it again, but with new modern machines and everything. Now, another thing I also seen. Okay. Now, the reason I did see like three alternate versions of like if Starlight really did do something about it. I mean, like on the first version, the Ponyville, like Twilight Castle was no longer there, but Ponyville was different. And even the Sugar Cube Corner was no candy or anything. It was just bread. And even for Applejack's farm turned to a factory. And the only thing is what's going on is all because of a cost. And she doesn't even recognize anybody except for Rarity. The only thing is like not but moved to Manhattan, and it's not just because of fashionista, but because of the audit or something. It's something to do with during the War of King Sombra, and that's how like we see like Pinky and Maud, and Rainbow are fighting all day to stop King Sombra, and then everybody has to work day and night, and others had to leave somewhere because it was too dangerous. And even the second version about the invasion of Queen Chrysalis, and then the other one about where Nightmare Moon disappeared, vanished Celestia to the moon, and that was kind of crazy at all. But after that, Starlight Grimmer learned her lesson, and even she saved Twilight and her friends from the invasion of Queen Chrysalis and even the changelings. And even one changeling who didn't want to be bad was Thorax. He was like in black, but now after having good heart, he turned himself with a new version. Like you guys already seen all those changelings, and even Ocellus and Thorax, they're green and blue. And even like Chrysalis didn't want to change. She just left out of nowhere. But even like you guys already seen in the final battle where all the ponies and all creatures stopped Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, and Tyrek, and they turned to statues, and they will no longer threaten any other creatures. And that was a very good one. And even they finally defeat Groger and all other villains. And even Twilight moves to Canterlot to be the Queen of Equestria after Celestia and Luna decide to retire after a very long time. And it was kind of crazy. And even like they made a plan, and even like Twilight told her student Lusterdon, who is actually Starlight and Sunburst's daughter, about how it is when it comes to friendship and stuff. And now like since Applejack still runs the farm, but then Sugarbill and Big Mac has a son, and they always work together. And even like for Apple Bloom, still works for the school, and they always and works for the school as a teacher with her friends Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo. And then like for Fluttershy, she's married to Discord, and they always run the sanctuary. Pinkie Pie got married with Cheese Sandwich, and even like the Cakes, Mr. and Mrs. Cake decided to retire, and even like the Cake twins growing up, and they decided to take over the family business. And even like Pinky got a daughter or a son named Little Cheese, and it was a very good emotional story and everything. And then for Rarity, she still do a lot of business of a lot of her boutiques, and even Yona decided to run over her original boutique after she graduated, and she also got married with Sandbar. And everybody always say, what happened to the other young six? Well, let's just say like Gallus works with Twilight because he became the non-pony creature to work as a royal guard. And then for Silverstream, Ocellus and Smolder, they work in the school building too to help all other generation of young creatures. And that's about it. And even finally for Rainbow Dash, he decided to take over the Wonderbolts after Spitfire decided to retire soon, because that's how a lot of generations so far. But it has been a long time, and even like where Spike became an ambassador. And since you guys seen the 5th generation of the My Little Pony of Make Your Mark, that's where you guys see the big Spike with a different voice actor. And that's how it is. And it has been like the last 15 years making the My Little Pony, and even it has been 7 years since the last season so far. Well, there you have you guys. That's it for today's live stream, you guys. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you miss any videos, click on notification bell and give me a thumbs up if you love this live stream. And you can comment down below if you guys want to see some new videos. So, hope you guys stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.